Welcome to the Gramps Improv. My name is Fred. The subject for this podcast is healthy balance of communication. Communication is a subject that is near and dear to me. As a child and leading into my adult life, I struggled to communicate with others. My shyness was so bad that I would say I was an introvert. As I got older, I began to force myself to communicate more even though I was out of my comfort zone. Now that I'm older, I find myself communicating more, but I now wonder if my communication with certain people is a healthy balance. What I mean is it excessive communication? For example, if you communicate with someone multiple times throughout the day for hours at a time, is that excessive? What determines if it is excessive? If you're in a relationship with the person or you're friends with the person, is that excessive? This is an interesting subject as communication is critical for any relationship, but you want to maintain a healthy balance of communication. How do you do that? I would say that you want to allow other parties to have their time and space. You also need time for yourself. Time and space allows for things, for you to experience some things, to interact with others. And then when you talk to the people that are near and dear to you, then you have more things to share and talk about. Also, it gives yourself and other parties time to do other things that is needed. And, maybe they don't get done if you're always communicating with them. A healthy balance of communication is important and should be distributed across all your friends and family. What do you do when you desire to talk to someone throughout the day and night, when it seems like you substitute not seeing them with more communication? Again, a healthy balance is required. Communication is about sharing, and you don't want to have complete silence because you've run out of things to talk about. Good communication is a dialogue between between parties. As I like to say, it's a two-way street. In order to maintain the bidirectional communication, you must have a balance. What if someone says, I just want to hear your voice all the time? Just think about if you didn't hear their voice. If you weren't hearing their voice throughout the day, every other hour, every couple hours, or whatever, and you didn't hear their voice, guess what? It would give you more things to talk about when you finally got the opportunity to communicate with them. As I mentioned, communication is near and dear to me. It is required to maintain healthy relationships. Without it, friendships and relationships suffer. However, we must have a healthy balance of communication so we don't drive each other crazy. Definitely don't want to be driving people crazy because you want to communicate with them every minute, every second of the day. So, this podcast is not to discourage communication, but to make us aware of what is healthy versus excessive communication. I've learned that having a good balance is healthy. Let's continue to communicate more effectively with one another. Thanks for listening. And again, this is Fred, and this is the Gramps Improv. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Bye.